Hello, and welcome back to another live stream of cool music and cool people. I think we're going to have a blast today. I'm excited to get back into this. How are y'all doing on this Sunday? I see we have Youth Worship Explosion, Donnie Truck, Evil, Taranakla, Charm Tiger, and Synapse here. Paris here as well. You heard Cool as Woke. Peace, glad to have you. We have a very wild list today of artists, some that I recognize, some that I don't, and one, Skycamefalling, that I'm pretty intrigued about, given that it is all one word and all lowercase, which makes me think they're a bit on the punkier, possibly post-hardcore side of things. I'm excited to get into that one. However, that's pretty much going to wrap the day up. We have a lot of stuff to get to before then, and a lot of stuff I don't recognize. A lot of new bands for me today, or new artists, possibly. Y'all ready to get into this? I'm ready to get into this, and y'all are on my channel, so we're diving right in. I don't know why I gave the option. All right. We're going to kick things off with what I thought was Zeitgeist, but it's just Zeigeist. I don't know how to feel about that. All lowercase bands are for betas. Sign me up to the list then. Lowercase bands are always phenomenal. So I will go on that list. I love lowercase bands. And if it weren't such a niche thing, I think it would work really well for a theme, but I do find that it generally sits within a specific genre. Is there a band called Lowercase? I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't personally heard of them. Twilight Theory. But yeah, see, if there is a band called Lowercase, it's all lowercase, all one word, I would think they have to be like indie folk, maybe. Maybe Midwest emo. I can't see any other band working with that title. Vampire Baseball Sequence. I don't. That's a phrase. Lowercase has to be in all uppercase. Oh, okay. We got two people on the same wavelength there. Too ironic. You got to make it uppercase. And see, at that point, it is indie rock. The irony of that, it would have to be something quite on the fringe of music. Not esoteric, not avant-garde, but on the fringe of mainstream. Y'all are starting to band. All right. How the films handle the whole psychic love affair between a character and a baby while it is in the womb. What are you talking about? Is that Twilight? That's the only film we've been talking about, but... Oh, dude, that is a sentence right there. Only way to share with Patreon is horrible. That's... It's something I've been wrestling with for a long time. And I wish, because when I started the channel, it was mostly comment requests, but I've just wrapped so much around Patreon and special selection that to remove either of those or to reduce the amount that we explore through that, special selection, maybe I could do like a video a week. I could take away from that. Then I feel like, the backlog just starts growing. I don't know. If I had more hours in a day, if I could put out 3 videos a day, I think comment suggestions would work well. Did I see Obsession yet? I saw Obsession twice in theaters, actually. I saw it on a Thursday release in a premium theater, which was much better than the second time I saw it, which was in a regular theater. And I've seen it on streaming too. So I'm kind of obsessed with the film, I suppose. I think it's the breakout hit of the year. It is layered, it is textured, the performances are phenomenal. I can speak about this thing for hours easily. Two of the best of the year. Backrooms I still haven't seen yet. I'm waiting for that to hit streaming. Lowercase is a post-hardcore band from California. All right, glad to hear. I might have to check them out. Lowercase. Would you call it the Saint Anger of movies? Not by a long shot. This is well beloved, so it's critically acclaimed. The audience loves it. Obsession is just a really solid film right now. You were expecting a good but flawed movie. Didn't really get that many flaws. See, I've heard the same thing, and hearing some of Kane's soundtrack work for it, I'm really excited to get into it. I probably should have seen that in theaters instead of Obsession a second time, but I had to take another friend to see it. I had to see it again before it hit streaming. It was so good. Your wife didn't understand what was going on? Is Backrooms more vague? Does it necessitate you understand the Backrooms? Because like if you go in not understanding what the Backrooms are as like this cultural SCP phenomenon, and they kind of assume you do know what it is, I can see how maybe that would be a bit more difficult to follow. Didn't know anything about it. Yeah, okay. So depending on how they took that, previous knowledge would definitely help a bit with it. Another dimension of the mind. See, I don't know anything about the Backrooms other than liminal spaces. It's SCP adjacent. I know very little about it. Project Hail Mary is on my list of things to watch. I had one friend who went to the theaters and loved it, and one who went to the theaters and did not enjoy it at all. So I'm excited to see where I sit within that spectrum. The theater was in a mall that barely has anything in it. Yeah, dude. I love like dead malls. Just kind of going into this space that was once this social shopping center, a place of commerce and social activity, and for both of those functions to be non-existent anymore, and it just is a place. It is both eerie but also relaxing. There's a calm to it, almost like being alone in a forest, that type of serenity, but within a concrete set of walls. I don't know how better way to describe that. I hope that resonated somehow. Project Hail Mary is one of the top of the year for sure. And you read the book. Very cool. Morning, observe the train. How are you doing today? All right. Y'all derailed me. I said we were jumping right into music, and then you brought up movies. You're mall emo. We get it. That's great. All right, Zeigeist with no T in the middle, which still kind of throws me off. And only 8 minutes. Yeah, that's fair. It was a short one. This track is called Bunny. Comes at us from Nate's. It's a fun electropop song that they discovered recently. Let's dive into this and see what's going on with just Zeigeist. I don't want to say that. The T should be in there. How about that language? All right, I'm having fun already. The German Z is like a TS sounds? Okay, that one, let me open my list here. I'll add that to my list of pronunciation help. There's this fluctuation between levity and groundedness. It feels like it tries to get away from itself, but can't. Interesting layering too. It's a lot of simple ideas where we're getting different groups of different parts of it turned on and off. We have these feelings of like expansiveness into kind of shrinking, but also rhythmic diversity too. Yeah, eccentricity is a good word for this. That a little bit better there? A little more? Maybe I just need to speak up a little bit. Maybe I'm being a little quiet. Was she saying poison or poison? Yeah, definitely a repetition of boy, but I also thought that was supposed to be a repetition of the first syllable. A little confused there. All right. Where is my game? There we go. All right, that should help a little bit. Actually, clipping out a little. All right, that looks good. Very fun track, a bit more progressive than I would expect too, given the way that it started. The progressiveness does come across a little eccentric because it is a combination of these odd ideas, whether it's a rhythmic oddity, like at the very beginning, giving us the initial beats and then presenting the true downbeat against that, showcasing that the original was based around the offbeats, not the downbeats. As we introduced more and more layers, some of these rhythmically clash, but there's also a consistent reshaping of the atmosphere throughout this track where the sound will grow and shrink and be heavier and be lighter, be more vibrant, be more diminished. And through all of this, it creates an interesting journey throughout this that doesn't always feel cohesive, but does feel connected. We are jumping between these different concepts, but they all are trying to come together to create something full throughout the journey. I find that to be the best part about it. I did end up getting lost in the whirlwind of sections. I don't know what the formatting or the structure of this track is. The vocals also kind of came across a bit singular. They didn't really venture outside of their sound or their range. And through that, they kind of became a bit monotonous, almost background noise compared to the rest of the instruments, which were constantly in flux, not the instruments themselves, but which instruments were in play. The soundscape of this is ever changing, which allows the static element of the vocals to really shine through. Interestingly, my attention to them was inverted, though, as I found I paid less attention to them. Depeche Mode, I think, is a really good comparison. Charm Tiger mentioned Missing Persons earlier, but I don't know them enough to say that that parallel is good. You said I was grooving to this one, dude. It's a good beat. I like the jam on it. It is interesting. It feels like it doesn't go anywhere, and yet it goes a lot of places, it's constantly in flux. I think a lot of that is just the vocals being as present as they are, weighing the song down in its exploration. It is that one part that you can latch onto, that you can grab onto and use as a waypoint to understand everything else. Tristan, how are you doing today? I am doing fantastic. I hope your Sunday is going well as well. All right. You didn't notice it was missing? Dude, I brought it up like 3 times. My biggest issue with the band's name is I can't pronounce it on the first time because I always want to say Zeitgeist. And you're like, oh man. All right. Interesting way to start the day. Very fun. I will agree with that. Next up, well, though, we have some Huang Xiaoyun. Probably butchered that name entirely, but I gave it a good try. This is a good Sunday, very hot outside, but a nice Sunday. Yeah, I can agree with the heat. What are we at right now? Oh, it's only 80 Fahrenheit outside for us today. It's been in the 90s, so 80 is kind of nice for coming up on noon here in Florida. But we are due for some rain. It should be some thunderstorms sometime within the hour. It's why it's fairly dark in here already. Even if I open my blinds, yeah, it don't change much. I could probably even leave them open without blowing out the highlights too much, but once that sun comes out, I'm going to have to close them. Oh, 84 didn't sound too bad either. I sounded good saying it? Is that accurate, or just that I sounded like there was confidence? I sounded like I knew what I was talking about. We do need the rain. We've had some good bits of rain for the last 2 weeks or so, but it was a very dry spring, so it is welcome. You sounded confident. Okay, I can work with that. The track is called Rebirth. This one comes at us from Jingyu. I'd like to recommend Huang Xiaoyun's Rebirth, a cinematic live performance connected to the Chinese sci-fi animation Ling Cage Incarnation. It combines throat singing, suona, dramatic orchestration, and her bright, powerful vocal line to create a post-apocalyptic ritual sound world. Sounds very theatric, and more is in store for theater. From watching a bunch of Chinese movies, it sounded okay. It kind of makes it feel a little rockier on my pronunciation, but I'll take it. What songs are you reacting to? There is a list beneath the video. There's a list pinned in the chat. There is a list on Discord and Patreon. There's plenty of places to find it. We also have upcoming ones here. I'm not taking... Well, okay. I will take requests today, but you have to sign up to Patreon and join the critic tier or higher to do so. But it is the last day for July requests. So whatever July requests come in today, I will still abide by as usual. So I guess I should probably keep an eye on Patreon and Discord then to make sure. Otherwise, after today's stream, we will begin taking August requests. All right, let's dive into this. See what's going on. I'm pretty intrigued by everything that was described here. Let's kick it. You absolutely can. I will honor every request up until the last stream is over. Hey, Jaron, welcome. Absolutely. Music discovery, I think, is the best thing that the live stream, or is the best quality of the live stream. I don't have as much time to devote to analysis, but we get to listen to 10 to 15 songs, so it's always a good place to find new stuff. The shift between the softness into the very full sounds. Oh, I absolutely agree. Going to see a classical concert is phenomenal. This electric guitar just shredding over here. So much control. Oh, it ain't over. Does anyone have a name for that instrument? It looked double-reeded, but I've never seen anything like that before. You liked it when it goes traditional, but everything else was bleh? Huh. I enjoyed all of it. The more theatric, poppy side of things, the very classically driven theater music. It sets the scene well, presents a great atmosphere. There's catchy melodies. There's great control, both from the instruments, which have the rising and falling throughout the storytelling here, but also the vocals, dude. I mean, she can sing like really well. The shifting from the more fragile sound to the more powerful, fully bodied tone, the falsetto, I don't know, whistle tone there at the end. Just the sheer precision of that, very little wavering at all. Just absolute control of her instrument. Like her technique was stronger with those falsettos. Okay. You thought the vocals were kind of weak? I think it's more of the technique. I'm not going to say that I was emotionally moved by the performance, but I could absolutely understand the strength of technique and the training that all went into producing these sounds. Not getting much air under there. I thought that was, well, two things. One, I thought that was kind of the point of most of it. It's not really designed to be this big, belting pop track. But also, I don't think that the production on this video is very well done. The dynamic range on it seems to be incredibly compressed. So I kind of felt that most of it was a little underwhelming on the sonic perspective, which is why I didn't really want to bring it up much. But I do think that that's what was going on there. I think that live, this probably would have sounded better. The choice of singing in English was a mistake. I'll be honest, I didn't know that she switched to English until the second chorus. I thought that they were just putting up translations in some parts, but not others, and it confused me. I don't know why the English words didn't click with me, but I don't know. I didn't think they sounded bad or anything. The translation was a little weak in places, but otherwise I thought it was fine. I might have to watch the rest of this, though. I don't know. I mean, I guess hopefully I can just find it on her channel there. Because I enjoyed that. I'm always a sucker for mixing classical and pop, and I think that this does a pretty good job of it. Oh, her singing was weaker with the English words. I gotcha. Admiring singing technique is a different thing from liking the voice. Yeah. I mean, it's just the same thing with metal, too, or any genre. I can appreciate the technique that goes into metal and not really enjoy the sound that they're making with it. Looking at you, black metal. But I enjoyed that. I thought that was a nice exploration. I kind of wish we had started with that one, kind of ease into the day a little more than just being hit with slightly progressive pop. But yeah, we've had a nice start to the day. Now we have Kauan. I'm pretty sure this is metal. Brian out here from vacation already with his metal slander. Oh man. I do believe this is a video as well. So I'm pretty excited for that. Get to see some cool stuff. This one comes at us from The Youth Worship Explosion. Kauan formed in 2005 in Russia near Siberia as a blackened doom metal band singing in broken Finnish for some reason. The band has relocated numerous times and is now located in Finland. So that's pretty nice for them. I imagine their skills in the language have gotten much better over time. They gradually shifted into a more post-rock doom metal combination, which brings us to this track, a movement from their 2025 album, Way Home, in which basically all the tracks form one long track that manages to feel very connected with little repetition. This is from their video, in which they perform the entire album live. I love the stage aesthetics they chose for this one. I just enjoy the true bleak metal, Brian. Oh, you just enjoy true bleak metal. You know, at times I think that's it's interesting because I think like thematically the blackened metal that has connected with me has been on the bleaker side. But I feel like true bleak metal, like the true side of black metal, like that third wave stuff, kind of mixed, even though I think it might be heavier at times, never quite connects with me. Way Home is such a good album. Needs the whole album though. Well, we're only going to get one track here. And maybe it'll sell me on them. I'm pretty sure we've heard them before, but I don't remember thinking I needed to hear more. Let's dive in and see what's going on with the track Soothe, Seer. Oh, is that like Soothsayer? But it's Soothe, Seer. Kind of interesting wordplay. It's the bleakest of them all. I wonder what bands would constitute that list. Oh, Sorny Nye was one of their tracks. It's not wordplay. All the tracks are word. I mean, it is wordplay, even if it's unintentional. Oh, expand. I was like, what does expand the box mean? Oh, did I? According to the timestamps on this, it's EER. But you're right. On Bandcamp, they have it as an A. Which I suppose that makes more sense too. Because if you've burned something, like searing, the opposite of that would be to soothe the wounds. This section, along with the intro, gorgeous. An interesting thing to note there too. about how emotion is felt differently by different people, particularly within the realms of arts. All right, I lost track of time there. um, yeah, solid track right there. I really enjoy the atmosphere of it. I remembered when I started it that I needed to stop it manually, and just while listening to it, I zoned out, and I was just like, just enjoying the music. And then I was thought to myself, hey, it's been a while now, hasn't it? um, I was not a big fan of the blackened vocals at the beginning. I really wish that they had gone a different route, and I'm glad they brought the vocal chorus in at the end. Um, Having all the vocals there, and one of them was a bit more raspy, more of that fry crackle sound to it, but there was traditional singing within there and in that vocal stack, and I thought that did a great job of kind of humanizing all of it, because to me it's a very atmospheric, grounded sound. It is one about emotional exploration in a non-heightened way. Bringing those heightened vocals to this through that black metal harsh just kind of feels distant from what the song itself is attempting to convey. And I know there were the electric guitars there, and it kind of ramped up things for a moment, but I still think I would have preferred clean vocals in that section. And so bringing the clean vocals in at the end, I thought really allowed the track to resonate with me personally in what I was experiencing through it. There's only brief sections of these growled vocals. I like that. I might have to check out more from this performance here. Beautiful atmosphere. It's a very patient track though. You gotta wait for it to do its thing. Very post-rock in that manner. I do think it moves a little slowly, but that the atmospheres they were exploring were gorgeous and worth the wait. The layering of everything, the removal of the violin and then bringing it back for the final section, I thought sounded great. It's just, it is patient. It's melancholic. It is joyful too. There's victory in here, small victories, nothing like, a massive celebration, but a win on a bad day, possibly, is what I get out of this. And, you know, that kind of goes with the title, too, to soothe a burn. Something that was bad, we attempt to make better. Yeah, I think I'm coming around to this one. I'm going to pull this one down. Let me dive into the rest of this performance here. The melancholic sections feel a bit disjointed. Tough part of choosing one song. Yep. Someone else had mentioned, too, that this album is just, you really need to listen to it all at once. You got a victory. You got me to pull a track down. Too slow for you, instrumental parts really dragged. Yep, like I said, it's a patient song. It demands your time, not necessarily your attention, not your immediate attention, but your emotional attention. It pulls more at your heart than your mind. And I think if you just kind of close your eyes and experience the 40, 50 minutes of this, I think you'll find a wonderful album, an experience of emotional atmospheres, assuming the rest of the album is akin to what they're doing here. You want to show as much nuance of the band, but not always from the best side, especially if the album tells a specific story. Yeah. When am I starting up EP special selections? This month. I don't remember when we did a couple of the past ones, Zior Park, and I think there was another one in there too. Placebo, possibly. I don't remember when those were, but they went well as test runs. But I wanted the summer to get over so I could come back to like a full 40-hour work week, and that starts next week. So sometime this month, sooner rather than later, I'll be making that announcement. It's a patient album for sure, though I don't think it has much repetition. Yeah, 100%. That song had a direction to go. It never really meandered or sat still too long. So I do appreciate that about it. All right. They're not, I mean, I guess, no, they're not open for request yet because I haven't announced the price point yet. But soon. I'm asking y'all to be patient. And we'll get that going. I'm going to be like Kauan right here and ask for a little bit of patience. All right. Next up, we have Hangover in Minsk. Minsk? That's just, wow. You just made your EP request. Oh, man. This one comes at us from, that's not right. No, actually, that is right. A person from Germany. This is the first single of a DSBM side project from the members of Dimna Latva. Which, all right. There's a lot of words in there that aren't my cup of tea, so we're going to have to see how this goes. Oh, Minsk is the capital of Belarus. I gotcha. No rush, but I need it by Friday. Yeah, sure. I got you, man. All right. Let me double check the audio on this real quick. It is set very high. So either this is incredibly quiet. Okay, it is. I just wanted to double check. It's one thing if I mistyped something and it's too quiet. It's another thing if I blow y'all's eardrums out. So, all right. Interesting cover. It's this dude's got a lot of alcohol and the world around him's going crazy. All right, let's dive into this and we'll see what's going on. Already spent your whole salary, special selection budget's running out. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. We'll see if it evolves though. Although Dimna Lakba also has some quieter segments to their work too, and they're quite firmly in like the Black and Doom area. So maybe we just have to wait for this to grow. From Germany, welcome, and yes, perfect timing.
My mom took me to church, but now I'm on the stage.
You know, I would never have compared it to Rock Lobster, but I can see the parallels you're drawing. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hear that chorus without chuckling next time. For anyone who's heard the rest of the album, does it match this vibe? Is it more of this? Unblackened metal. Okay, so I'm not the only one who hears the dancing and singing. That, to me, is a very bizarre track. And it's so bizarre that I need to listen to more of it. Like, I don't think I want more of that specifically, but I'm quite intrigued by this band. Jiraiya, welcome. Glad to have you. They drove the atmosphere home. In the verse, I think I can agree with that. It's definitely very goth coded. It's heavy. It's atmospheric. It's somehow still sort of ethereal despite the weight. But the chorus, I think, is the oddity within all of this. The dancey drum pattern, the instrument in the background that's giving us a melody line that goes alongside the vocal rhythm. Uh, it's it's not heavy, it's not depressive, it's certainly not black metal, and it doesn't really vibe well with the vocal style. There's a sort of a goth rock element to all of this, but wrapped inside of a, I don't know, some sort of club style, like a gothic nightclub thing going on. Hangover is in the name, that's true. Themes are more silly and drunken than Dimnalatva. And see, I think that's part of the reason why I want to explore this album too, is because Dimnalatva's latest album was in my my yearly recap. I really enjoyed that. It was an emotionally heartbreaking exploration. It was incredibly human. This is also human, but less serious, possibly. And maybe I don't want that, but I still think it's worth exploring to see what they're doing here. I technically am taking requests today, but you've got to sign up on the Patreon. Link is below the video. Join at the critic tier or higher, and you can get a July request in. I know it's not July, but this is the final live stream of last month's requests. If you do that, just let me know in chat that you've sent a request, and I'll make sure to add it onto today's stream. The mix on the vocals, I'll agree that that was a little high, but I don't want to hold that too much against them, because I don't think it is the most obvious or the most glaring elements of this that is odd. Everything else is just, it's a very strange conglomeration of ideas, and yet it somehow works. We have the group harshes in here. We have the layered vocals in the chorus. We have the guitar that layers on the vocal line too. We have a guitar or synth that's doing a melody line alongside the harsh. It's like, it's so wild. But it's also super simple too. Like when you just listen to the guitar line, it's a kind of just a rock track. And that's what I find wild about this, is that there's so many elements of this that are just incredibly easy to listen to. They're very much on the palatable side, and then they're paired with these non-mainstream concepts, whether it is the gothiness, the gothy atmosphere of the verse, or the harsh vocals of the chorus. It feels like ideas that just typically aren't mashed together, and yet here they are. Dimna-Latva is recognized as an extremist group by Belarus government. Very interesting. Very pro-Ukraine, which is rad. Absolutely. Yeah, I pulled them down. I don't know that I pulled them down because I liked them, but I do need to explore more of this. Mass subscribing to Patreon and making the live stream never ending. Have I reacted to the new Kokeshi track? I don't even think I know who Kokeshi is, so I certainly have not. The name is familiar though. No, I think that's a different band. This Screamo band, but I think they have a fourth syllable to their name. I don't know. I listen to so much music. It's possible I've heard something adjacent to that. Maybe I've heard something of theirs. I reacted to a previous Kokeshi song. Okay, I gotta pull this up now because I'm curious. Where is... There we go. All right. Horror-themed metal band. I really wish that was ringing a bell. Maybe the song would remind me of them. Maybe a thumbnail or something. I'm pulling it up right now, though. Kokeshi. Oh, we checked it out in a live stream. In December, yep. Oh, yes, I do remember this music video. No, I've not heard anything else from them. It does say Screamo is a genre. I think, because this is an Asian band. The one I was thinking of was American, though. So I don't think they're the same band. The new song would be more up my alley. It's called Hatching into Humanity. I'll write that down and see what I can do about checking them out. Maybe even if it's just on my own time. That is a curious, a title that invites curiosity, though. All right. Next up, we have some giant squid. 60-foot waves. Very water-themed, which is appropriate given that Terranecula had originally considered this for Water Week, but found that it wasn't watery enough. Though, with an artist and title alongside that, how could the song not end up being watery? I guess we're going to find out. Let's dive in and see what Giant Squid is bringing to the table. Right? How is this not watery? Maybe the music just isn't watery. Every time this band comes up, I get them confused with Cyborg Octopus. Also, what is this album art? I assume maybe the giant squid is off screen, but it looks like people trying to use axes to attack water. You know, very stoner though. Kind of psychedelic as well. It's in the little flourishes though on the organ.
Crushed within our homes to drown in stone and lumber. We will be washed clean and torn asunder. Our culture swept away as we
Yeah, I can see the Mastodon parallel. I like the harmonies. We get larger ones in a bit too. So the singer owned a diving store and made a band about a giant squid and made albums about water. It's got a fixation there. Yeah, shows how much the dude loves the ocean. Marrying a fish. Yeah, I'm mostly on board with this. I'm going to pull it down. I think I'd have to check out another album, though. The layering in here is great. I love the vocal harmonies. I love the general vibe of this track. Harmonically, we're exploring ominous sounds. We're exploring dreariness. We're exploring heavy weight. I think it's a song that is an encapsulation of constant danger, which 60-foot waves, yes, that sounds like the kind of vibes we would need for that situation. It feels like Mastodon if it was good. Shots fired. Wow. Um, I do kind of miss what I thought was an organ at the beginning. That might have been a violin, maybe. I don't know. That sound never came back though, and I kind of wish we had more of it. I thought it gave it a nice psychedelic edge that it never explored again. Oh, a cello. Okay. Well, the cello and the violin sounded fantastic here, keeping the song rooted and progressing while everything else kind of explored the section. It's just a cello. So the cello just played a bit on the high. I mean, well, when it comes to stuff like this, original timbre isn't always something that shines through, and you can always use engineering to adjust. I could have sworn it sounded like a violin, though. Regardless, it keeps the strings keep the song pushing forward. While everyone else is kind of doing their thing, they are the drive, they're the intensity, they're the motivation for the track. He's behind the time. That's pretty good. And I love the general energy of the vocals too, both the single and the layered vocals. But I gotta agree with Youth Worship Explosion. The production on this is just not there. The drums are drowned out through most of this, which is interesting because what I did hear, the tom runs are a really great part of the motivation of this track. They provide a lot of momentum alongside the cello. They're just kind of hard to hear entirely. There's some parts where the cello gets overshadowed. It's not a great mix, and it did start to upset me a little. Not physically able to distinguish between string instruments in general. I think particularly with the string family, violin, viola, cello, double bass, they're all generally made the same. So it does take a little bit more of a nuanced or trained ear to hear the nuance between them. But you can certainly train your ear to do that. Banjo? But I enjoy a lot about this. I just think I would enjoy a different album of theirs with a different production. But I am pulling this one down. I'm pretty sure I've listened to Giant Squid in the past, so this is probably going to add into the list of reasons why I need to check them out. All right. Next up, we have Waitress with the track Rubio's Lament. Come on. All right. Don't want to underplay the album because I think it's genuinely great. And like I said, like compositionally, that song is solid. Loved everything about it. It's a frustrating listen. And if the rest of the album is that same thing, right? I love the writing. I just wish it, went into my ears a little better. I think that would be just a perfect album right there. All right. Rubio's Lament from Waitress. This one comes at us from Scarlett Letterman, something my friends listen to because I want to surprise them with your reaction. And also because I've run out of music to give you. I feel that. I'm honestly surprised that y'all still have both interesting and new things to show me 6 years later. Just shows how much music is out there, and the fact that we're somehow still finding new bands to listen to just kind of blows my mind. We scraping the 4-hour mark? Nah. Are we really? Oh yeah, well yeah, I guess we are a third in. This will probably be about 2.5, 3 hours. We did have a couple extra tracks today, and if anyone comes in with late requests, as usual, I will honor them. But yeah, the last stream of the month always runs a bit longer. All right. Did we do context for this one? Yes, we did. All right. The 24-hour stream. I will be doing that this decade. The logistics of it is the thing. I live with people. I can't do, I can't really comment too much throughout the middle of the night. But there is a 24-hour song by the Flaming Lips, I believe, that I will make a reaction to, live or recorded. I'm not sure, but I'm doing it. It's something I want to do. 5-hour mark then. Sleeping stream. I have never understood those. If you're going to do that kind of reaction, you should do it live. Okay, then that's set. I'll do it live. That just seems, it makes more sense, right? I can record it and get high quality to upload later, but I should still do it live. I'll be a legend for that. I don't know if I'd be a legend, but the tough part is just the roommates. And, I have parental duties, responsibilities. So I got to find just a day that I can carve out for that. And it's super intentional to build an entire week around that day. No one else has ever done a reaction to that or probably even listened to it in one go. I don't know what it's called. It's by the Flaming Lips. I think it's in here. 7 Skies H3. It's a weird title. Is this an MP3? So I have an MP3 file. 128 bit rate. Even though the low quality bit rate there, it's still 1.3 gigs of compressed audio. Golly. They have a 5 to 6 hour song called I Found a Star on the Grounds. Interesting. So they like to do these long form experimental things. For some reason, I thought the Flaming Lips was a prog pop rock band, somewhere in that range. They sold an album with a skull. That's a sentence. 24-hour stream followed by a week's recovery. I'll be a notable figure of a specific region of music for that. They're creative and experimental. Okay. 24 hours of mediocre music. I have no idea what the song is. So if it is boring or mediocre or, God, even worse, noise, Yes, there will be entertainment factor to it, I suppose. All right, let's dive into this Waitress stuff. Might be mixing up with Talking Heads. I don't think so. I mean, it's possible sonically, but is there another band that has to do with like fire body part, maybe, that would fit that? I don't think it's a musical confusion. I think it's a, I don't know, syllabic confusion. Experimental's always great. Kokeshi comes to mind. All right, let's dive into this Rubio's Lament here. See what's going on with them. 24-hour Frontierer track? I would not do it.
I know it's over, but I can't stop sneaking through your window. Something about it satisfies my
You get ways of making you listen.
church bells are ringing, officers are filled with bright ideas. Somewhere in the distance
It's super compressed, but I'm loving this.
my feet are growing restless in this prison cell. My lawyer thinks I'm doing well, but it's 40 to life. She is a ruthless miser. No one doesn't despise her, and you're all starving, so I'll take the night.
Cardiacs from Mallrats.
Her ugly
It's very Will Wood. Panic at the Disco.
Already came today. Policemen always lie when they're uncertain, so you
Melt
gotta black
Banana.
and
Oh,
white
jeez,
the
that band.
I know it's over, but I can't stop sneaking through your window. Something about it satisfies my melancholy. Church bells are ringing, officers are filled with
That run up.
somewhere in the distance now. A voice is calling.
2026. This came out in January.
Tampoco si te vas donde nadie pueda verte. Esta es tu suerte.
Yeah, this gets pulled down.
Por siempre. I know it's over, but I can't stop sneaking.
Kind of a random section, but I'll roll with it.
Satisfies my melancholy. Church bells are ringing, officers are filled with bright ideas. Somewhere in the distance now, a voice is calling. And yeah, I did, but I don't think you could understand. You are just a simple man. Oh, you are just a simple man. Church bells are ringing, officers are filled with bright ideas. Though I feel
He needs a second vocal part here. I mentioned Will Wood, but Bear Ghost is another good parallel there. Peak 2011's Theater Kid. Yeah, 100%. Solid alt rock for theater kids. I can get behind this. There's catchy vocals on this. There's bells. There's cool synth parts. There's cool melodic guitar parts. It is momentous. This song is just always moving forward. It's sub 3 minutes, so it goes by in a flash. It is just fun, bouncy, dancey, catchy, all the good words to describe things. And it's very, very alt rock. A little splash of like emo thrown in there. I'm on board with it. I've never heard of Waitress before, but I'm gonna have to check out more from them. And like I said, this album came out in January, and aside from an EP from mid last year, it's their only release. So I'm excited to see what else they got. Adding blast beats would improve it. I will agree, though, the production, as I mentioned at the beginning, is very compressed. There's a lot of clipping going on at the very start of it, and my ear kind of tuned it out after a while, but I still wish it was a little bit more expanded, and hopefully that's something they can address on a second listen. Though I know that Youth Worship Explosion mentioning production was that it was too clean, which I have found my limit for that, but usually it's not a problem for me, and here it isn't. Theatricality makes it 100%. Sounds like Set It Off. Crown the Empire. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. They're still around. Man. I spun their first 2 albums so much back in the day, and their 3rd album was just kind of garbage. And I haven't listened to them since. They're different now, but still okay. Well, I mean, if you compared them to this, they're very different because they were metalcore back in the day. So this is certainly not metal in any way, shape, or form. But now I'm kind of, what is that, intrigued. Maybe I'll go see what their latest single is about. All right. Johnny, oh, dude. It's not Johnny Ringo, is it? Was that? Anyways, yeah, that trilogy of songs. Was it I remember there was 2. Oh, you know what? There was a 3rd one. Yep. Those were good. Although you say saga, not trilogy. I wonder if they've continued to use those as their album finishers, put more songs to that. All right, this one's called Limbs. The most recent, very different sound shift is definitely the recent Avenged Sevenfold release. Oh, okay, yes, but I liked it. I gave it an honorable mention in my 2024 Album of the Year list. And I know Avenged Sevenfold's latest album was not well received, but I think it's going to be one of those albums that people look back on in a decade and find that critics and audience were rather harsh on it, and it is viewed in a better light in the future. It's very different, though. I'll give you that. This one comes at us from Azathoth. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to put that on my list then. One of my favorite discoveries in AOTY of 2023, a talented Filipino core group that deserves more ears on their work. All right, Limbs. Let's see what's going. Oh, we got a mecha album art going on here. Let's see what's going on here. I do seem to like the Black Sheep albums of bands. Constantly shifting between 4 and 3. Hey, Dematome, what's up? There's a link underneath the video for Patreon. If you join a critic or higher, you can request a track for the month, and it will show up today. Oh, that's fun. Very surf rock for a moment. Is that it? Oh no, we're only halfway through. Okay.
Big landlords and the big compradors are using the guns, waging war to the people because they are killing the people. The only way to topple down the exploitative or the exploiting class is only the guns.
I'll post it here for you then.
Fight back and shoot back.
Okay, that kind of grunge gazy. Yeah, a little bit of sludge too. Yeah. Well, they certainly got heavy there at the end. Kind of removed some of the momentum they had from the first half and went for a very grounded, rooting, kind of like holding your position kind of idea. Just planting your feet firm is what the finale of this felt like. We had some nice temporal shifts at the beginning, jumping back and forth between 3/4 and 4/4. The heaviness was pretty consistent throughout too. I'm not really sure what the song is though, and maybe this is something where lyrics would help, or maybe just understanding more of their style. Azathoth had mentioned that they do a lot of genre integration. And this track, I don't know, man, about 2.5 minutes in, it just kind of threw me. The empty midpoint into the heavy finale just didn't quite click for me in the way that the first half did. And I kind of wish the song had just finished where I thought it was over. But it seems that a lot of you really enjoyed the finale of this, so it's kind of on opposite ends of that. But it is a first time listen, and knowing that that's what they would end up doing, I might be a little kinder to it on a subsequent listen. Don't feel any emotion from this. You know, I agree with you on that. I think it's the static element of the vocals. It's a very controlled type of scream that to me is missing the emotionality that I typically go towards core style harsh vocals for. In a lot of ways, it feels more like a metal vocal to me than a punk one. And I think having the more metallic instrumentation under that solidifies that feeling throughout. I think if you're more metal oriented, you might be able to find more emotion in this, but Gakyu and I both kind of sit more on the punkier post-hardcore side of things. And at least for me, I find it more difficult to get that emotional value out of metal-based music. But I wouldn't say that it's not there. Maybe we're all just depressed. That's fair. Something like this could feel rather uplifting to someone. You never know what people are going through at any moment. Jaron, I see you mentioned that the new Avenged Sevenfold's EP has a horrendous production. I'm kind of intrigued about that. I've already added the EP to my listening list. I've pinned it in Deezer. I'll be checking it out probably today, being that it's just an EP. I'm looking forward to it, especially with all of the mixed reviews I've just gotten here in this little comment section with y'all's perspective on it. And especially after hearing their last LP, I'm really excited to see what they do with it. Some people are just haters for the love of the game. Haters for love. You're a defender personally, though? I'm excited. See, I'm getting mixed opinions here. I am curious how many people are going to dive more into Limbs, though. I'm going to pull them down just to see what else they're doing. Oh, they have a February track. Album, even. What we listened to came off of their 2023 album. They have a 2026 as well. Yeah, I'll check out more of their stuff. Even if it's just a couple tracks from both albums, kind of see what's going on there. The newest album had some spoken word and traditional instrumentation. See, now you're selling me on it. I can absolutely get behind that. All right. Next up, we have House of the Blood Choir, which is a wild artist name. I've been waiting to get to this for today, just to kind of see what's going on here. This one comes at us from Gakyu. This album has to make your 2026 list, right? It has everything you usually like, and the lyrics are in English. Yeah, right? This is a crazy band name. I don't know, something about it. I'm just gravitating towards it immediately. The title is Garden of Foster Mother, which is a wild song title too. So let's dive into this and see what's going on. That lowest string, a little out of tune. I do like that really subtle movement in the middle of the riff, though. Weezer gone goth. That's interesting. All right, I'm gonna pull this down. Calling me out like that. To be fair, there's a lot in here that I do like. But man, that ending got really noisy. I'm still pulling it down though, because I'm interested in what else this band has to offer. Maybe a little more of the first 2/3 rather than the finale. But the emotions there, the vibes are there. Weirdly, the off-key vocals don't bother me too much, but also I've spent so much of my youth listening to My Chemical Romance, and as much as I'm a fan of that band, I'll be the first to say Gerard is just not a great singer, and part of that is the allure of the band. So I think that's what's happening here, is that it's off-key in a way that's still palatable, which I don't know off the top of my head why it works in some bands and not others. There was this emo band that we listened to a while. I think it was Brave Little Toaster, and the vocals being off key was just one of the worst qualities of that album that we listened to for me personally. But other times it's like this, it's just not as grating. Sorry I reminded you of that, I guess. Brave Little Abacus, that's what it is. Yep. Brave Little Toaster is a phenomenal movie. Brave Little Abacus is a band. But yeah, I think those vocals are always going to sit with me on just the end of things that I don't have. I have too much friction for. I agree. The music was really good. And like the melody lines for Brave Little Abacus was great too. I think that if the vocalist wanted to sing it more in key, I would probably really like the band. Wow, that got dark, Jalron. Coming back to this though, I like the twinkly guitar works. I like the heavy guitar work. I like the vocals, even the screams in the bridge into the outro. I thought worked well. It's just once we ramp things up into kind of it wasn't pure noise, but it was very close to being just a very noise focused outro. It lost me. It really did. but I do like a lot of what this band is doing. So I will give this a listen before the year's over, and we will see if it ends up on the AOTY list. Seeing as Brave Little Abacus have lyrics about hating the way their voice sounds, I don't think they could have sang it much better. Oh, interesting. Well, I suppose maybe I retract that and say if someone else had sung those parts. No, I will. So like in my database, I have, you know, all my media is in there. And in the music area, I have a listen list. It's broken up into decades except for current year albums. And that's because I want to get those listened to so I can do the AOTY thing. Everything else, I don't make videos or anything for that. So it kind of gets put on a back burner. It's a little lower priority. But if it's a recent release, that's high priority. I will get to those, or at least I will try. Last year I did really good. I listened to every album I set aside to listen to. But the year prior, I think there was like 70 albums I didn't get to. So it did teach me to be a little more selective with what I put as high priority. But I do have things in play to make sure I get to listening to at least modern stuff. All right. Next up, we have this Moonspell. And I don't know what to think of this based off of the thumbnail here. We're going to find out, though. This one comes out as From Evil with no context to it. I suppose we'll just dive straight in then. See what's going on here. Album cover tattoo. Wow. Definitely a fandom. Ooh, I'm digging the big stingers there. I wasn't expecting any orchestra. Friends band opened for Moonspell once. They said, do us some weed, we'll hang out, smoke it together. I came down to hang out, they ignored them. Wow.
Every man is a sinner, every man is a liar. Life's a slow procession into the fire. Carry the weight or crush the ribs.
And Dracula vocals.
Every man is a sinner in the name of the Father.
So it's kind of gothy here. But very palatable too. Like this is where it really turns into like metal. Goth metal with black metal. Okay, so that checks out then. They got the layered vocals in there too. Is this a third verse? That's unusual. It's like a YouTube thumbnail. Oh jeez, that's good. So this would be a recent release, I'm guessing, based off of your video. Alright, based off your comment. The video TOS, I mean, it's on YouTube. I guess it is. I guess we'll see what Twitch has to say then, I guess. As far as I'm concerned, it's art. Little, I don't know. I don't know the context for it. Without context, I find it maybe a little distasteful, but it is still, at the end of the day, art. Too small to need to worry about it? Okay, that works for me. It's decomposed, don't worry about it. I would actually laugh if that was Twitch's stance on it.
You reach the top of the chain. Inhale, exhale. You made it till the end of days.
I will say though, the track is solid. I don't know if it's something I'd listen to again. Plenty of energy though. Solid writing. It's a good mid-track. I can see the generic argument, sure. Interesting. A little bit of, like, Indian melodic influence in there. Fading out on a string solo. All right, that's it. It's time to cancel Moonspell. No, I enjoyed it. Was it anything that blew me away? No, but it doesn't have to be. It's digestible. It goes down easy. It's a fun listen. The melodies are catchy. There's cool layered vocals in there. The guitar riffs, they got meat to them. They got momentum. The chorus in particular, I think, ramps up in a nice contrast to the verse. Having the orchestra in there at all, whether it is digital or not, embellishes on the song. The finale was great. Loved having the violin solo there. I'm on board with this. I think it's a solid 6 out of 10 track. It's not terrible in any way, but it isn't mind-blowing either. And sometimes just having a fun track works, especially for this, which seems to be something akin to a single. I mean, they made a lyric video for it. Usually you want something a bit on the more palatable side for that. So I think all of this works well, both as a track in isolation and as promotional work in order to promote the band and get more people to listen to them. Developed an issue with a lot of bands that use orchestral instruments because they tend not to use classical writing conventions. It's just a sound font. 100%. I've been saying that for a long time. I got a lot of flack for that from some of the classical or orchestral metal, symphonic metal. That's the word. The symphonic metal fans for saying that about some tracks in the past. But I stand by it. If you're going to include a violin, if you're going to include a string section, write something interesting for it. Don't just give it the same chords you've been given everything else. And that's why I think the end of this was actually kind of neat too, because we explored a wider melodic palette there. Like I mentioned, there's a lot of really interesting half-note bends going on that final violin part that kind of sounded odd. I don't think a violin would necessarily sound like that, but it did bring in something that felt more Indian folk into the mix, which is an interesting choice for this. I can't say that's what the song felt like it demanded, but it did add something fresh and interesting to the song, so I can get behind that. Hey, Mark, glad to hear you're in recording, though. I'd say that's certainly more important than the live stream. And I'm looking forward to your new album, too. Part of the problem, the other is just usually bombast for the sake of bombast. And yeah, I mean, even what caught me off guard at the beginning of this was the string stingers themselves, just simply being there. They weren't adding much to the song other than, hey, classical instruments. It's still enough. I got excited about it. I suppose when it comes to metal, I put the bar pretty low for one reason or another, but you know, that did grab my attention, and sometimes that's all you need it for too. 90% of goth metal is terrible, just like deathcore. Dang, y'all are just out here blasting away. How many bands and genres have y'all taken down today? Got to pump those bars up. Y'all just, you got to give me some good metal, I guess. Now I'm out here taking down an entire genre. You see this? The hater edition. Yeah, y'all are rubbing off on me. Helicon, welcome. Best thing that you've missed so far. It's been an interesting morning. I don't know if there's anything that's been totally stand out so far. Limbs was interesting. House of the Blood Choir was interesting. Waitress was, I mean, yeah, we've just had a lot of interesting stuff. Very mixed reaction to most of the stuff today. With the mentioning of folkiness at the violins at the end, it might be interesting to note that Moonspell are Portuguese. It might be taking some inspiration from their folk music, though it's only a guess. All right. All right. Also, I'm seeing this thumbnail here. Sid Wilson kicked out of Slipknot. Is that true? And if so, what does that leave? Like 3 members left from the original lineup? Slipknot is very much a band of Theseus at this point. Limbs is done. They had a close friend killed by government force. Holy cow. Well, that's a shame, especially since they just released that new album too. I think that I'm thinking of the right band there. Yeah, they were the ones that had the February album out. Dang. They even have a supporting document for the album too. Very interesting. It's a heavy topic there, one that's difficult to segue from. Wikipedia article. Oh, revolutionary. All right, I'm going to look up that Wikipedia album or article later. See what's going on there. All right, no, that's fine, man. You know, it's always good to know what's up with bands. Sometimes it's for the best to help us avoid them, but sometimes it's also something like that. If Sid gets kicked out, there's only Corey Clown and the 2 guitarists left from the... Okay, so half the band's... Less than half. There are 9 members, right? Wow. I'm kind of tempted to check out something new of theirs, just to kind of see what they sound like compared to their older stuff. All right. Next up, we have some Shin Guard. You will be held accountable for your actions, which is... I'm loving the title. Lots of energy there. This one comes at us from Greed with no context. Let's just dive straight into this. See what's going on there. Oh, we got some scrams. Scrams is like Screamo, but a different name for it. All right, Ja Ron, have a good rest of your day. Wait, is that really why Scrams was created? Because people called metal screaming screamo? Okay. I actually thought it was the inverse. I thought Scrams was the first one. And it's just not visceral enough. But I do cringe a little bit when people outside of metal and hardcore say screamo for anything with screaming in it. There we go. Yeah. That's totally fair. Very interesting moment here of mixing the two extremes. Yeah, solid track right there. I do think I enjoyed the first half a little more. Would have liked a little more variety in the screaming, but honestly, the musical element of this really drove everything forward from the dreariness of the opening into the heavy compression and weight in the midpoint, and then pairing the new screaming section with the older guitar parts, and just kind of creating this overwhelming docile elements or tenderness or something. I don't know how best to describe that, but it's just great to see from this utter low to this utter high and then the midpoint between the two. The guitar work was great, the bass work was great, the drum work kept everything moving forward, and the vocals were, well, a little varied. At least we got cleans and harshes. The wall of noise was a lot. I will absolutely agree with that. But I'm going to have to pull this one down. Never heard of Shin before. I don't think anyways. I don't recall the name. But I enjoy what they're doing. See what else. Like the late breakdown too, so mostly enjoyable. Yeah. Also, two things. One, there's a lot of core adjacent stuff happening today, which is quite interesting. But two, does anybody have a history of the word screamo and how it became associated with anything with screaming, particularly in the metal realm? Hatercore. You know what? I like it. That might be the theme for today. Because it's something that I've always thought about, but haven't thought about recently. And the conversation absolutely brought that more to mind. And now I'm just curious. How did that enter into pop culture vernacular? Ignorant people spreading ignorance. Sure. But I don't know. I think I'm less curious about how it spread and how it entered. Like the word itself, how did it get into mainstream language? Because once a few people hear it, yeah, it's going to spread, but it's got to get out of that underground area first. And that's the part what I found that I find the most interesting. Like how ignorance call every electronic sound techno. I'm fairly certain you can find some early electronic reactions from me where I called it techno, even though it wasn't. But where did I hear the word techno from? That's the curious part. I don't know. Maybe there isn't large recounts of this because it might just be little groups of people and it kind of spreads parallel in thousands of different ways. But you drawing that parallel, it certainly clarifies some things. You never remember anyone calling metal screamo? I don't think I ever heard it in my personal life, but I've certainly seen people on the internet call anything with harsh vocals in it screamo. Even growls getting called screamo, which is very interesting to me. Same thing that happened to metalcore. What happened to metalcore? Or just saying that people refer to that as screamo too. All right, we have Fockewulf. Well, like no, there's no L in there. I don't know, 190 with the title Gitano. You just blame metalcore bands? I feel like there was a while that it was used properly before it just became a lazy term for anything shouty. The watering down of words. Also looking at the term AI right now being used for almost anything, which I find ridiculous, but it is something I've heard even in my personal life, people throwing around. They see something CGI and they're like, oh, that's AI. Watering down the terminology is a very interesting phenomenon. It got commercialized and metalcore, yep. How modern, or like, I'd say like 2010s metalcore is very different from the original merger of hardcore and metal. Yeah. Metalcore is a wild conversation. Yeah, absolutely. It has changed so much in its form. All right. This is very gothic, though. Or, I don't know, they are wearing crosses. Let's dive into this. We got context from Chris. Let's try something more unusual for this month's pick. Italo Disco. All right. Let's check it out. See what's going on here. Oh, there are flashing lights in here. I suppose seizure warning. Ooh. You know, they're not not denying my goth associations from earlier. I actually don't know if I have eyeliner. I still have nail polish. But the last time Emo Brian was released was years ago. I don't know where that eyeliner went. The call and response on the vocals is a nice variation, something to change up the general feel of this. So why is this called disco? The goth version of roller rink music? I'm dying. What? Don't they have AI filters that put on items? I'm sure they do. I would not even know where to start with that though. Oh, we have a little bit of that back and forth there too. 3 different instrument timbres here. Always considered this a pop version of post-early EDM. Hating mainstream pop, metal, and synth. Wow. I suppose we all go on our journey, but I kind of find it difficult to imagine a pair who did not enjoy metal. What did you hear? Did he say that with a soft G? Wow. Yeah, what can I add to this? It's a jam. You can dance to it. It's got a good beat. It's catchy. It is probably great for a club. for listening, it quite outlives its welcome, outstays its welcome. Yeah, that makes more sense. It's a fun track though. But I mean, it's like a minute and a half, maybe two tops of unique ideas, and it's just looped over and over and over. But I will say that their timbre bouncing around, passing of the baton kind of stuff works really well. It elevates it a little bit beyond what I would normally think of in this realm of music. Having the melody get passed between instruments, I thought helped keep that fresh. And we had the call and response on the two vocalists too, which helped a lot in the sections that was used. Otherwise, though, this is it's a song that does its thing for a very long time. Yeah, I had fun with the track. It's easy to dance to. Not sure it's representative of most Italo disco though. Very interesting. So I'm curious what would be more traditional. Although to be fair, that also feels very dance music to me, not very disco at all. So maybe Italo disco actually has an identity closer to disco music than that did. Blackened Italo disco. Could you imagine? Is there any blackened dance music out there? I assume there must be. Black metal gets mixed with everything across every genre, but I can't even begin to think of what that would sound like. Can see this being played in a club at the Blade Runner universe. Absolutely. All right, we got some more VIANOVA ahead of us. This one, another one in the same month. I think we've listened to these guys every month for half of a year now. But this is the second one this month that came in with the track Más Rápido. This one comes at us from Donnie Truck in the same universe, in the same album as the other VIANOVA songs that have been requested. I have no idea where I got universe from. Yep, all part of the same album. Let's see what's going on here. I'm quite excited to check out more of them, even if the track we listened to earlier this month didn't quite hit me like the one we did last month. A chance for redemption, yeah. A little random heavy breathing. Chug breathing. Yeah. I was trying to figure out why I recognized that. Yeah, optical drive motor. Good call on that. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Mark. I think this one is much stronger than Squire Talk, which I think was the last one. I am right there with you, though. Peace. I was about to say this. I still don't know what it is about that first one that we heard. Like, I say first. I think y'all have had me listen to like a dozen tracks of theirs now. But the one from last month, it just clicked for some reason. This pushed towards that direction a little bit more. I enjoyed this quite a bit more than Squire Talk, but it's missing the magic. And I wonder if it's novelty. Like the odd combination of everything they're doing. I'm becoming more used to it. I don't know. It caught me off guard, though, the first time around, and maybe that is the secret to it. Regardless, I really enjoyed sections of this, which is more than I can say about Squire Talk. This track had the falsetto section was phenomenal. Anytime that the distortion got cut off and we got these cool guitar parts, I love those. The drumming in here can be very melodic too, which is always phenomenal. The bass work is nice. Like every instrument really gets to showcase more of a softer, more technical side of things, emotional exploration of subtlety. It's anytime that we move away from subtlety that I find I'm enjoying this track less. Anytime things become over the top, heavy, and noisy. And as much as I wasn't a super big fan of the clean vocals in the first part of this track, that falsetto part towards the end really worked. I think I would just prefer this band if they stepped away from the metal side. Granted, I think that the contrast is part of what makes it so interesting, but it's also the part that I find I'm enjoying the least. They should embrace their inner Mars Volta and call it a day. I can kind of see that. I wouldn't say that their metal side isn't good. It's just it's generic. It's bland. What they're doing, other bands do, and maybe even a little bit better. But I will say that something that I picked up on in the first heavy section of this track, particularly with his harshes as they were, it clicked for me that I think one of the reasons I like them is they remind me of what Periphery is doing with their most recent works too, combining these heavy, rhythmically disjointed, noisy ideas, this sort of textured gent concept, and pairing it with poppier concepts. I just don't think that this band is doing it quite to the level that Periphery is. On either side, they're not quite as heavy as Periphery can be, and their poppier sides aren't as catchy and digestible either. There's something about them that's a bit more experimental, and I think that the parallel to Mars Volta that keeps getting brought up is accurate. Maybe that's where they want to sit, though. It's just a more experimental Periphery, and maybe that works. The singer is a big fan of Periphery and Jamiroquai. Okay, yeah, that checks out. I can hear a lot of that in his vocals. Doing anything close to what Periphery does is a big ask. 100%. I do think that Periphery started out as, they helped kick off the whole gent thing, but they've really developed into something that is them more so than just being another gent band. And trying to be that is kind of tough. Kind of like trying to be the next Meshuggah or the next Dream Theater. Like, you're trying to fill very big shoes here. There's a bit of in that song that made me think of Her Last Sight that kept getting spammed on social media. I don't know if I've heard her. Is that a band, Her Last Sight? It is a band. I don't think I've heard of them. Somehow I get left out of the viral algorithm stuff. I don't understand it. I have an entire YouTube channel devoted to music, and I don't get to see the viral trends. Meshuggah. Oh, jeez. This style all started because of Polyphia. I can see some of that too. I don't think Polyphia ever got this heavy, but yeah, the mixing of... Well, you know what? One thing that I think Polyphia still does well that none of the people who are inspired by them really did was bringing in more trap ideas into the music. I still find Polyphia to be a bit more technical, especially rhythmically, than most of these bands, especially on the drumwork side of things. I'm still not a big fan of Polyphia, but their technique, their skill level is just still out there, dude. Give me a newsletter on trends if you want. Already missed this week's. I did see Loathe was being talked about quite a bit. I don't know what President is, though. Or maybe it's President is Back. Is that the band? We exclude you on purpose to avoid spoilers. Y'all have infiltrated YouTube so that I don't get spoiled on music trends. Oh, that'd be funny, though. All right. We are going to move from very recent music into some past music here with some Steely Dan. I recognized this album cover recently. Was it also on a live stream? Is this another case of a band getting requested twice in the same month? Time for some real music. Oh, geez. This one comes at us from Tedesco with no context. We're just going to dive straight into this. See what's going on.
Have you heard about the boom on Design Fine?
I don't know if you should apologize. This is phenomenal already. The piano work alone is worth listening to.
Doesn't matter where you've been or what you've done. Do you have a dark spot on your past? Leave it to my man, he'll fix it fast. Peppy has a scar from ear to ear. He will make your mugshots disappear. You zombie, be born again, my
Oh, those
friend.
harmonies,
Won't you
dude.
sign in, stranger? Do you like to take a yo-yo for a ride? Zombie, I can see you're qualified. Walk around
I don't know. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know how you could hate this. Maybe being ambivalent to it, but it's so cozy and digestible.
Shine your shoes. Oh, baby, you would like to see the show. You'll enjoy the cafe Descargo. Folks are in a line around the block.
The call and response all throughout this, so good. Ooh, the drummer got a little spicy.
Yellow fever, sure. It's all in the game. And who are you? Just another scurvy brother.
Very fun walk down there. Wow, that's, I feel like that's out of pocket even for you. Youth Worship Explosion.
You zombie, be born again, my friend. Won't you sign in strange?
Aaron 12-year-old came out. Yeah. I can see the comparison for their shine, their shimmer, their general cleanliness of production. In a lot of ways, now that you've mentioned that, I kind of view them in the same boat as Haken. Incredibly talented, going for almost perfection within their studio production, and just creating stuff that is incredibly likable, digestible, and clean. It's progressive in some ways, but not pushing the bounds too far, while still creating something that is almost sterile in its sound. Bit Neil Diamond-esque. Now, I say that having this track and the track from last month kind of in my mind as far as recency is, maybe there's other albums of theirs that, I don't know, are less produced, less cleanly produced, but this does sort of remind me of Haken. Although I will say Haken, is something about it is just too clean even for me. This I find to be really nice and comfy. This sounds phenomenal. Haken is a real band. I'm trying to figure out what you mean by that. Is Steely Dan not a real band? Midlake were influenced by Steely Dan? Very interesting. Coming back to this track though, it's just gorgeous from start to finish. Some cool little drum fills in there. The back and forth between all the instruments and the vocals is great. I love the vocal harmonies on this. It is just very warm and resonant. I love the slightly jazzy ideas throughout parts of this too. It's again, it's just very inoffensive in a lot of ways, and maybe for some people that might be very offensive. But Steely Dan never, I think I remember someone saying that last month too. For the first few years, they were a normal band. Studio live. But it's just, it's very easy for me to listen to this and just enjoy it and allow it to wash over me. Everything in here is just so meticulously placed in a way for maximum calm. And I love that. Everything in here is reassuring. Every bit of it, which I think is interesting given the title of the album and the album cover, which seems to be pointing towards social commentary possibly. But the reassuring sound makes me feel like everything is going to be all right at the very least. I've come to appreciate that in their sound. Nice track to sort of wrap the day up. We only have a few more songs ahead of us here. This next one, Sky Came Falling, lowercase band, no cases. I'm expecting some post-hardcore stuff right here. This one comes at us from Dimmy. Absolute banger of a song. Been on my listening rotation for almost 2 weeks. All right. I'm going to see what's going on here. The track is called Elephant Graveyard. Let's kick it. Criminal underworld forged identities in that? Yeah, that's not comforting at all. Very interesting to pair that with the sounds Steely band does. Very interesting production on this already. Dry drums, but I think it fits. Yeah, I can hear the Incubus. Alright, this one gets pulled down. Yeah, there's a lot of hallmarks in here that feel like it's an early self-produced album. But compositionally and the passion, I think it really pulls through. Yeah, I can hear some Pop Roach too. This is their final release. Is it also their first release? Years after the first demo. All right. When did this come out? Okay, so 03 also kind of solidifies that too. That's the word I got to incorporate into my vocabulary. Finesse. That is such a good word. Yeah, I'm sold on this. It feels like a throwback album, except it actually came from the 2000s, very much in conversation with bands like Papa Roach and Incubus. And to me, it's very nostalgic. If I had heard this in the 2000s, I would have absolutely been all over this. Today, though, I do find the production on this to just be a little too rough around the edges. I still pulled it down. I still want to check it out, but I don't know if it's going to be something I continue to return to over and over and over and over. There's the odd separation that we heard at the beginning. It's heavily compressed. The drums as a whole are very dry. It's just not a great production, but compositionally, I am all over this. I love the vocal variety on this. The atmospheres are phenomenal, whether we're working with riffs or just chords and chord shaping. The drumming is fairly melodic throughout all of this. The bass shines sometimes. I wish I could say more about the bass. Unfortunately, I can't. Satisfying even with the sea of dissonance. Yeah, I think that's a great way to describe this. It can be noisy at times. It can be gentle at times. It's all over the place, and I think it works really well. I just wish it was produced a little better. But maybe the rest of the album sounds better within this scope. I don't know. All right. 2 more to go here. We did get one late request. We're going to check out something from Lewis Cole after Fear Factory here. This one comes at us from Mark, just because it's an old banger from when I used to go to local rock clubs. Some Fear Factory. Linchpin is the track title. Let's dive into this. See what's going on.
God, give me a pause! God, give me a pause! See the light of the day has arrived for us. Genesis of our
Playing the bass solo is, dude, that used to be the thing.
Hold within a means to our name. Can't you see that we are one? Can't tear me apart. Can't tear me apart. Can't tear me apart. Can't tear me apart. No, you can't. We see no end to the dream. We will never see the end. We will never be the end. All my life.
Ooh, yeah.
No, you can't.
Ooh, that's kind of fun.
Without me, you will fade, you will not remain. We are one and all the same. You got machine, a linchpin, hold within a means to our name. Can't you see that we are one? Can't tear me apart. Can't tear me apart. Can't tear me apart.
So when you say that they chased trends, is this the trend chasing album or sound? Or is this their original sounds? Interesting how far up the drums are. I can barely hear the guitar riff that's following the same pattern as the snare. funny you mentioned that they changed their style, and the song ends with "You can't change me." No, I enjoyed that. It's another good throwback sound right here. Very new metal. The chorus I actually found to be a little of a letdown. It almost pulls the reins too far back or slows the song too far down. Most of the energy is completely wiped out, but I do like the dual vocal part of the chorus. I think that works exceptionally well. All right, Tedesco, have a good rest of your day. Is it supposed to be genre parody? I don't think so, because this did come out in the 2000s, I'm going to assume. The video is at least 2009. Looks like there's a 2007 copyright on it. Mid to late 2000s, at least. But it feels like it's in conversation with that era, with that genre. New metal is impossible to parody. Can we check out the Kokeshi 2? Let me see how long it is, because we've already run over an hour here, but I am kind of intrigued. Oh, it's 6 minutes? Ooh, I'm going to have to say no on that one. Primarily because we already running over. I mean, even when we run over, we're usually done by like 1:30. It's already 1:45, and we got one more track to go. If it is worth it, you can make the request. Join the Patreon, or you can get a full reaction of it over at my YouTube channel at Critical Reactions. You can do a special selection for that. You can find links for that in the link tree there. And then you'll get a full like 20 to 30 minutes devoted to the song as I dive into everything that I hear within my first listen. This is a bit more surface level stuff. But yeah, I don't think this is parody. I think this is spot on with what new metal was doing at the time. Very nice upsell and fully justified. I'm practicing, being a better business side of things rather than just, the music side. Definitely well within the conversation of new metal. I do find the chorus, like I said, just to kind of pull the reins in just a little too far. In the production, I think, is the oddest part there, with the guitars being so much quieter than the drums. How do I differentiate what I do on YouTube? Everything is driven by what y'all want, patrons, basically, but also the one-off special selection stuff. It's what they want. If they choose for something to be on live stream, if they choose for full reaction, I just follow where y'all tell me to go. I used to choose songs, and I'll tell you, that wasn't the best. The metrics were low on everything that I chose for some reason, and I didn't always enjoy myself, even though I picked the music either. So I gave up on that. Yeah, we still have one more song, this Lewis Cole one right here. Someone else was kind enough to pick it, so thanks to whoever that was. Oh, for the Holy Bible album reaction. Yep. That was really good. A heavy album, but good. There is no theme this week. I'm going to randomly select some tracks from previous themes that seemed interesting to me, whether it was a title of the song or a description, just kind of from the past 5 to 6 themes. But we'll start polls tomorrow for everything going ahead. You're welcome to send a track. I won't be able to get to it today, but I can certainly listen to it on my own. You're also welcome to email me about it if you'd like, if you just want some personal, me to listen to it and give some critical thought about it. Here's the link for that if you're curious. About to do a new post with live stream requests too. Yes, as soon as this is over, Discord and Patreon will both open up for the August request for live stream. I don't think I have much else to say about this track. It was fairly straightforward for what it did. verse, chorus, bridge chorus, very digestible chorus, and a nice, heavy, fun, bouncy verse. Definitely gets the blood boiling, gets your body moving. You just want to go for it. It's called Reaction Worker. No parallel to Sex Worker. I mean, nope, not going there. Next up, we have some Lewis Cole. Oh, man. With, what is this? These dreams are killing me. Let me see. I got to get things set up here. Oh, this is, that's not Lewis Cole. I mean, that's a choir. This will be interesting. All right, no context for this one. It does comes from Peace, though. Let me get volume thing on this. All right, looks like we're good. Let's dive into this, see what's going on with some Lewis Cole. Definitely, oh dude. Definitely his drum work. I'm not a big fan of this production though. He needs more separation between the instruments. Wait, he sings? The percussion is what I expect. The drum kit sounds the same as the production on Nowhere Forever. Now got the Donnie Darko skeleton costume. Lewis Cole is a part of a lot of stuff. Yeah.
There's no way these colors are real.
Keyboardist is just chilling. I wonder if the skeleton onesie is more comfortable than a suit or a dress. Excellent bass work. The whole drum kit is triggered, isn't it? He's not putting any effort into it at all. Might as well just be playing an electric drum kit. I wonder why he went for acoustic with triggers. I mentioned the whole thing's compressed down. I've seen that bassist before too, but I can't put a name to the face.
These dreams are killing
Wow, can't even hear the clapping. Is this... You and I both were on board with the clapping thing. Is this still the song? All right, I'm gonna let that play out. I agree that it does feel soulless, but I think that's the point of it. Based off of the main line, the main hook of this song. I wonder if all the music of this album, this show, is like that. If it's meant to be dissociative, yeah, that's what I'm kind of figuring out of it. When you looked on Wikipedia, he's suspected to be one of the Clown Corps members. Yep. He also is a part of a pretty cool jazz fusion-y kind of thing, very progressive band called Nowhere. That's where I mostly know him from. Does that mean he's an ICP? But I do find that the production on this track helps remove that emotionality too. Everything is flattened. None of the instruments are distant. I mentioned this at the very beginning, that everything's just kind of compressed together and there's no room for anything. And I wasn't a big fan of that. It kind of, I got used to it as we went on in the track. But it's just very chill and light throughout, which I find interesting because Lewis is a wild drummer, and for him to just be for like 4 minutes it's kind of boring by his standards. You want more reverb on everything? Yeah, very dry overall. The bass sounded great though. I loved the bass syncopation against the drum work. I thought that was nice. The guitar solo was well done, if muffled and muted. Sounded like it was coming inside of, I don't know, some sort of horn. But you didn't hear what was coming out the end. You just hear everything bouncing around the smaller part of the horn. I don't know. It was a weird production choice for me. But if the whole thing is about being stifled, feeling like you're being forced to do all of these things because you have so many ideas and they're wearing you down, I think this whole idea of dissociation and muffledness works really well within all of this. But the bass got the VIP channel in the mix. Yeah, the bass came through clear, dude. I love that. But like, what's the point of the whole orchestra if I don't hear it most of the time? I don't know. But the thing with Lewis is he seems to go all out. His ideas are never small. So maybe that's just the way it has to be. Don't understand how he gets that many people to work with him. Like, isn't that expensive? Yeah, probably. I don't know. Maybe this is just a local orchestra. Maybe it was cheaper to have them perform this than, you know, a big Philharmonic or something. Maybe it was just a bunch of people he knew. I'm pretty sure he went to university for music, and I'm pretty sure it was a music university too. So maybe it's just friends of friends of friends, everyone coming together to do it pro bono. I don't know. And there's commissions too. Lewis Cole he's not a super big name, but within circles, he's fairly well known. I don't know a lot of musicians by name of almost anyone that y'all show me, but I know Lewis Cole, so that says something to me anyways. I don't know. I'm a bit mixed on this. I think there's parts in it that are cool. I think that it is artistically sound, but I don't know that I enjoyed it. It has parts that I like, but not as a whole. He's a Grammy winner. Okay, I didn't know he was that big. I wonder what he got a Grammy for. Maybe it was for something that wasn't his name in particular. Maybe it was a group that he operated, or maybe even a pseudonym that he operated underneath. But that's pretty cool. I think he deserves it. I've never heard anything of his that was bad. And like I said, he's always a big ideas kind of guy. So he seems perfectly fit for winning awards. He's just got to get his work out there, and I guess he did. So I appreciate that. Very interesting project here. Perhaps we can have something from him that's very different next time. Yeah, it was actually I featured him in album of the year list, I think for 2024 with the album Nowhere Forever. But I think I've also shared Nowhere's music videos on the Discord as well. But if anyone else has anything else, then go ahead and share that or request it in the future. There is also Clowncore, which is a possibility he's the drummer for. They are absolutely bonkers. So there's at least a little bit of a starting point if anyone's curious about Lewis's work. He 100% is? Okay. I've always heard it as a, well, I say always as if I didn't just hear it as a rumor. Which is true. The first time it's been brought up, the only time I've heard it brought up, it is always what I've heard. But I didn't know it was confirmed. All right. That's going to wrap it up for today. We have a 3-hour stream today. I thank y'all for hanging around this long. I hope you enjoyed the music, found some cool stuff to check out. I enjoyed the music, some of it, most of it actually. We didn't have too much that didn't work for me today. And I enjoyed the conversation, as always. Y'all are fantastic, and I enjoy hanging out with y'all every Sunday. I do think I'm going to have to open this up, though. Maybe we'll do one additional stream on a Wednesday or something, because we're pushing 15 songs for every week, and that's not sustainable. I got to figure something out. I don't know. Maybe I'll bounce that around and see if anyone is cool having theirs on another day. Maybe we can get 10 or so to have theirs on something other than a Sunday, and I don't know, bounce some ideas around, see what goes on. Y'all have a fantastic rest of your day. There will be no early access for tomorrow. This is also going to be another half week as I'm getting my kids set up for school. We got to go meet the teachers and clothes shopping and resource shopping and stuff like that. But I didn't want to have another week off, so it'll be another themed only week. And that's about it. I'll be back to my full 40-hour schedule starting next week, and so everything kind of goes back to the usual. Summer's always just kind of a little difficult to get through. All right. Don't you believe in infinite growth? I did have a nice week off. It was well needed. With all that said, y'all have a fantastic rest of your day. And until next time, I don't know. What do I normally say here? I just blanked out. Y'all just be cool. Safe travels or what? I don't know, man. I'll catch y'all next time.